One thing I think everybody right now can agree on, the most anticipated movie on everybody's list is Madam Web. This is the movie that everybody is counting down. You've got your, what do you call them? Your Hanukkah calendars, your Christmas calendars, whatever, where you put the little candies on every day and you wake up in the morning, you can take down the next candy. You're counting down to Madam Web. I know y'all are, don't lie. Well, for those of you who have the foolish belief that longer equals better in a movie, which it absolutely does not, but for those of you who have that belief, good news. According to a report, Madam Web is going to be the longest Sony Marvel movie in existence so far. This comes to us from the folks over at Coming Soon. The all-time great already, Madam Web, runtime, has been revealed for the latest entry in the Sony Spider-Man universe, and it's the longest film yet. The Norwegian film ticketing website FilmWeb, via the Direct, lists the Madam Web runtime as 1 hour and 56 minutes, or 116 minutes. This makes it the longest Sony recent Marvel movies, as it beats the first Venom film's 1 hour and 52 minute runtime, which was previously the lengthiest. Now, you would think with the quality of Morbius, it would have been even longer, but it wasn't. All right. I am of the belief, for those of you guys who watch our show, that shorter is not better, longer is not better. Every movie has its own perfect runtime. For one movie, the perfect runtime for it may be 1 hour and 45 minutes. For another movie, the perfect runtime for it may be 2 hours and 20 minutes. So whatever, we don't really know whether a movie's too long or too short until we sit down and watch it, right? But I got to say, while I am very intrigued by the premise of Madam Web, and I'm very intrigued by the premise. I think the premise sounds like it has promise. I have some concerns about the trailer, which I do not think was great. That being said, who knows how the movie will turn out. I gotta say, I thought this would be a good movie to come in around 1 hour and a half. I thought this would be a good one to come in right around maybe 1 hour and 35. Because wasn't Bullet Train like right at like 90 minutes or something along those lines?
Like that.
There was a movie recently that was right around there, and it had such great pace.
2 hours and 6 minutes.
Was Bullet Train?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the wrong. There was another movie that was out recently that was around the 90-minute mark. And I remember coming out of it going, that was actually like perfect.
Wasn't that Godzilla minus? No, it wasn't. Sorry.
I can't remember how long Godzilla, but I don't think that's the one we're talking. At any rate, I just remember thinking when I looked at the premise for this movie, I remember thinking this would be a prime candidate for a all thriller, no filler, great pace, great thing, boom, boom, in and out, done, and hopefully you got a winner of a film. I'm honestly a little bit nervous about this thing pushing up to 2 hours, because even in the Sony Marvel movies that I've really liked, Venom 2, I think it's benefited from not being too long. And I kind of thought this one should be shorter, but who knows? This might be the greatest film ever made. This might be the movie that Martin Scorsese himself comes out and says, I take it all back. Madam Web has shown me this is cinema. Maybe it is, and we're going to come out wishing it was 3 hours long, but I don't know. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. Guys, it's a brand new year, and a lot of people are making New Year's resolutions, things they want to change about themselves. But I've always believed that it's also equally as important to identify the things we're doing well and building on those. And therapy helps you find your strengths so you can ditch the extreme resolutions and make changes that really stick. I've always believed that nothing impacts our daily performance in our jobs, our hobbies, our relationships like our mental health. And I've also said for a long time that it's about time that we stop just putting emphasis on improving our physical health by getting out to the gym, but also by putting emphasis on improving our mental health as well. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you gotta do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. So guys, celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit betterhelp.com/Campea today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Campea. Anyway, Chris, you hear about this. Madam Web is going to be the longest one Sony's done so far. Good sign, bad sign, can't tell till we see it. What do you think?
Ultimately, we can't tell till we see it. However, this does not thrill me. just because Sony has not had a great track record. Also, this is a very big deviation from the comics. Now, that's not to say that you have to stick to the comics, obviously, to have a great adaptation. We've seen Marvel before take big swings and make some huge changes, and it really pay off. I think it's very interesting that we've got, Julia here, because that's who Sydney's playing as our Spider-Woman, or our second Madam Web. I think it's very cool to have her in the mix. I'm very confused about Cassandra Webb in this, because it is a very big reimagining. Right now, given the time travel-y, see the future kind of aspect of this, I'm not in love with a longer runtime. I really was honestly hoping for a really nice, tight, quick film that we are just action-packed and having those kind of replay moments, jump in, okay, let's figure this out. Let's redo that moment. Let's save this person. Let's adjust this moment in time. I like when television shows do that. I think that's a really fun device of what can I change? What butterfly effect moment can I shift from what I did last time in that run while I'm in this time loop and make that adjustment? 2 hours feels bloated just with that kind of plot device.
Right, yeah.
But who knows? I could go into this and see it and have my mind absolutely blown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what's going to happen.
That could happen.
I mean, I hope so. I mean, listen, I went into, I've said this a lot, sticking on the theme of Sony. I went into Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse completely believing that movie was going to suck. I had no hope and no faith in that movie whatsoever. And I walked out thinking it was like one of the best films of the year. I lose my mind over it. I think Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse was the best film of 2023 now. Maybe that'll happen with Madam Web.
Oh,
It's doubtful,
oh
but
speaking
maybe.
of short, John,
Yes.
today we're watching ISS, and that's an hour and 35 minutes.
95 minutes. Good. Nice.
Perfect runtime.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect runtime for
That's
that.
out already, Ray?
Well, we're seeing it one day early.
Ooh.
At 5 today,
fancy.
I'm pretty excited.
5
for it.
today. I'm excited to
A
see
little
it.
shorter than that because you're not going to sit through all the credits. So yeah.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.